And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day. Day number 4 of the Master Coliseum 7 playoffs. I'm, of course, your Sly VIP, and with me, I'm joined by lovely people in the chat, by my plushies, and by M. Canning. Thank you, puppy. Thank you. I didn't know if he's still here, but we appreciate the raid. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session and react stream. Shaking my head. As we're diving into day number 4 here, we're diving into some elimination matches. We are nearing the end of the playoffs, the end of Master Coliseum. It's been a brutal tournament all month long, day after day after day. So many days here of the group stage of the playoffs, and we have 3 days remaining. And here we have to determine who faces off and who advances on here in the lower bracket. We have herO versus Solar up first, followed by Maru versus Dark. And in these matches, they're best of 7s and they are elimination matches. Loser will be gone from the tournament. The winner advances on to the next round. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have on Oceanborn, herO for CranKy Z Gaming. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg, Solar for Onside. We go, and as we dive into this, of course, a big shout out to the lovely sponsors as well of our tournament. Shout out to Doyu, Hogaisa, Taido, Oreful, and Piu Piu. Thank you so much for the support. Likewise, thank you everyone for tuning in and watching as well. Again, it's been a pretty intense tournament, just almost the entirety of January engulfed in it, with the qualifiers leading into the group stage, of course, which was massive, the Swiss group stage, into our now playoffs here. And we'll see who does advance on. And if you're in the chat, then get your gamba on, because predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take this series, on who you think will advance on to face off against the winner of, oh my god, the winner of Maru and Dark, because herO is going for a Forge. He's going for a Gate Forge expand here. His goal is to cancel, is to deny this hatchery on the low ground. It is not a committed cannon rush, but a cannon rush nonetheless, designed to force a cancel and to delay the expansion here of Solar. Boys are being pulled. Oh, we do squeeze past. First cannon has been thrown down. Pylon's been thrown down as well to reduce surface area on that pylon. And this cannon will finish. And Solar, can we hold on to this space, or will we be forced to cancel? And the answer is he holds. Or he'd choose to try to hold. Hatchery is done. We have Lings on the way. Queens as well. Good positioning here with the drones. That's a lot of lost mine time here for Solar, as that is 7 drones off the mineral line. Cannon is now done. Oh god, the probe trying to get to that cannon. Alas, cannot. Is forced away. Is zoned away. And 1 cannon is not going to be enough to really threaten this hatchery. Is within range. It's not even within range. Oh, it's not even within range. Behind this, herO is expanding. Of course, this was not an all-in. This was not like a cheese. This was designed to, again, force a cancel. But with only 1 cannon, we can't really do much. We can just go up to the high ground. You can focus down the cannon from the high ground as well. This is a rough start for herO. This has not really achieved what it was looking for, what it was hoping for. Yes, we did force a lot of less mining time, that is true, but still not ideal. The positioning is a little bit annoying, but as we mentioned, no high ground. There's no high ground vision here, so this cannon is going to go down to the Queen without too much issue. Behind this, we're transitioning into not just our expansion, but also the Stargate. Now, this expansion is delayed. It's a delayed nexus here for herO. Delayed tech as well. We have to try to catch back up. We have to try to recover here from this big delay and from this investment. Third base soon to be on the way here for Solar. Adept gets across, and the cannon is going to be going down. The cannon falls. We, again, don't really kill too much. We did force all that lost mining time as well, that's true, but we also invest into all these pylons, into all these cannons. Well, 1 cannon. Adept does shade in, does get 1 drone. Not bad. 1 worker does go down, but I got here a little bit too late to be supported by the cannon. First Adept goes down. So far, good defense here from Solar. And with that, we can kind of settle into a longer game. Solar's going to be able to drone up and get into his Queen production. Meanwhile, it's going to be on herO to bounce back with Adepts, with Oracles. Here we go. But again, a wild way to start. On top of that, it was also quite fortunate for Solar. I didn't mention it, but he went for a 15-15, went for a 15 hatch into a 15 spawning pool, so that meant faster Lings and faster Queens, faster than normal. So just happened to be set up to deal with this. So solid start from Solar. With that, we are now going to be getting in slowly into our next game, or slowly into this game, I should say. Adept's going to be threatening a shade. Two Adepts do one-shot workers. The Oracle does dive in as well. Queens are in position. Oracle gets forced back. Once again, still no major damage dealt to Solar. Not yet, at least. Behind this, we're rushing into a third base. Third Nexus on the way. herO racing back home to defend against it, and we're just easing our way into a longer game. Tech-wise, I'm really curious to see how herO transitions. For now, we have a fast forward, so we can rush into faster +1 attack. That's true. We're getting with a third Oracle to maintain map control to harass across the map. Ooh, and that's a second Forge on the way. I hope herO remembers that he already has one, because that's going to be, again, second Forge for double upgrades. Not something that we're used to seeing. I mean, I say that. Last night, herO did play triple Forge against Raynor. That did happen. that was a wild game. It was on this map as well, if you remember. It was on Oceanborn when herO went triple Forge. It did not work. Did not work there. There we go. We have +1 attack on the way. Soon to be +1 armor as well, I imagine. This will actually work quite nicely with charge. With charge lots, if that's the direction we headed. Pilot council's done, and we'll see what our tech of choice is going to be for herO. Me let him say shade into the natural. Ooh, Lings are not in position. Drones are being focused down. At the same time, Lings, they did go for a counterattack where we are in position to defend. That's going to be 5 dead workers, and we're not done. Still have 3 Adepts remaining, and we shade into the main. Once again, more drones being targeted. Oh, and this is getting out of hand. This is becoming too much. 8 workers. 8 drones go down. Very nice trade here for herO. Behind this, we do have 1-1 upgrades on the way. We're not going to charge. We're going to Link Stalkers instead. And again, that +1 armor upgrade is going to help so much against the massive amount of Lings that Solar is creating. So far, good setup here from herO. He's not quite there yet. Lings do once again threaten another counterattack, but the Oracles are back home. The wall! The wall is not a wall. Lings, they do slip into the main. Lings, they get into the main. The others do threaten the natural. We got a full scout, and we do confirm the tech. We are fully aware of the double upgrades as well as that Twilight Council. And we even focus on a couple of probes. Not too bad. Not too bad here from herO. Behind this, Roach Warden on the way should be Ling Bane Roach Ravager as the composition of choice for Solar. It's kind of the bread and butter here of mid-game ZVP and can work quite nicely against gateway compositions. Against a commitment into Blink Stalkers, Ling Hydra could fare a little bit better here, but you know, there's still a place for Ling Roach Ravager as well. As Ling's going to be threatening that wall, do get on top of at least some of the production here. We should force a warp in and be forced back. And Epsay shade in again for a second time. Denying so much mining time, we focus on a couple of extra drones. Oh god, as 2 more Adepts slip into the natural base as well, and Solar's being pulled apart. This is becoming far too much here. 6 more workers go down. On top of the 8 kills we had earlier. And again, we're only trading out Adepts. As I say that, Solar once again threatening a big counterattack. Zooming across the map, forcing the Oracles back home. Behind this, we're taking up into a Spire. I believe the Spire hasn't been scouted. I hope it hasn't been scouted. Luckily for herO, he is investing into Blink Stalkers. That can be an answer to mutas. A low amount of mutas. So we do keep up. Link's going to be forced back. Prism on the left-hand side. Charge on the way here for herO. Is going to be on the way. For now, Lings are going to be getting engages here with some Stalkers, but Stalkers, they do hold strong. They're looking to be focused down. A good supply block here on Solar. Oh, herO finding quite a lot of damage here, and he's going to be committed. 1-1 upgrades are done. As he moves down, we do have a full wall back at home. He's going to be holding on Lings. They don't bust into the natural base quite yet. But Roaches have come out just in time. Come out in time. Stalkers being forced back. Immortals on the way. Charge Lots being ready to drop towards the 4th base. Ooh, as Lings do slip in. Once again, getting another free scout. Confirming the lack of additional tech. No Bay, no second Robo, no Colossus production. And mutas are on the way. Ooh, as we're going for a big Charge Lot warp in here into the main. And herO looking to try and pull Solar apart. He catches the Queens. All 3 Queens go down. Very nice target find. Very nice split targeting there from herO. As Zealots, they take control of the main base. We go straight for the lair. They do force the mutas to reveal themselves. Mutas have been revealed. Phoenix is now in production. We do get a kill. We get a kill on the lair. Lair does go down. Same time, herO focusing down that 4th base as well. Can we get it? It's so close. Do we have a transfuse? We do not. As 2 bases go down in an instant, Solar down to 2 base economy. Does have a lot of workers, but is not mining efficiently whatsoever. Instead, going for a surround, and he will catch these stalkers, or try to. They're going to barely slip away. Oracles, they're coming in to support. Mutas, they shut down the Oracles. They force back the army. There's only a handful of Phoenixes. Where's the prism? Not quite here. Clutch dodges there with the Immortals. And so far the Mutas, they have forced back the army from time to time. They took down the prism earlier, but I haven't really done too much to the economy. And the Mutas are being targeted down. And very nice pickups here. Very efficient trades from herO. He shuts down every single Muta with 2 Phoenixes. But behind this Solar, he is building up his army once again. He's droning back up to 76, soon to be 80. Taking his bases, double expanding. Now, Solar has to rebuild his lair. He's stuck on lair tech as a result. There's no hive, there's no infestation pits, no lurkers or vipers or anything of the sort. Which is kind of a big win for herO. Like, his opponent just stuck on lair tech for so long. Not even lair tech at the moment. But a lair tech army is still terrifying. It's huge, it's maxed out. Solar, he has maxed out, he has arrived. So we're going to be rolling on in. Threading a dive towards the would-be 4th base. Bailing speed not on the way here. The slow base are waddling in. They're waddling on forward. Good concave here from herO. The Oracles, they go ham on the army. And Solar is running out of steam. He's running out of link bait. Only roaches remain, and herO, he can punish this so hard. Again, herO, he's been trading so damn well. Even though Solar's up in supply, the soup does at times lie, especially when Roach Ravager is involved. Not a very efficient army, not an army that really scales well into the mid to late game. It's just falling off. Again, we're lacking upgrades as well. We're just now working on +1 range, about to kick in 10 seconds. But herO, he's already knocking down that front door. He's already here. Cells from the left-hand side, Stalkers from the right. Once again, those roaches are exposed. Oh, we go for the dive. We dive on top of the army, dive on top of the Ravagers. Good target firing here out of herO. And again, he's just achieved so much throughout this game. Whether it's the Adepts harassing earlier, whether it's the Zealot run by Zealot drop sniping bases. Whether it's the target firing here as well. As Zealots, they wreak havoc in the main base. Ravagers, they will pile down the Phoenixes at least. Phoenixes will fall, but what about everything else? Yeah, GG gets called. herO snowballs out of control and takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A solid game there out of herO. A little bit unorthodox. The opener was, I would say, rocky. It was shaky for herO, where, if you remember, he went for what was supposed to be a Forge Expand Cannon Rush, but designed to force a cancel on the hatchery, and we didn't force a cancel. We didn't really kill many drones, we didn't really trade too well whatsoever. Did force some less mining time, but I would have said that after the early game, Solo was in a better position. But the Adept Harass, the vanilla Adept Harass was very impressive from here. If you remember, he was dipping in between the bases time and time again. He was able to shade in. The Oracles weren't doing too much economic damage, but the Adepts were. The Adepts, they killed, I want to say, 15 or so drones between them. Just really setting Solar back. And whenever Solar attempted to counterattack herO, he was always in position, always trading well enough against those Lings, and eventually snowballed out of control with that upgrade timing with all those Link Stalkers. Very efficient trades overall, despite, again, the shaky start from herO, which is a solid follow-up. Very nicely done. And Solar, he was struggling to keep up with the multitasking of herO, like the constant Adept Harass in multiple mineral lines at once was something difficult here for Solar, and yeah, it did feel like he was one step behind when it came to predicting the movement of the Adepts and keeping up with them and actually having even an army to deal with it. Now here we go, we're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the top right hand corner we have herO for CranKy game. And in the bottom left we have his opponent, we have Solar We're on site. Here we go. Oh, as we are diving on in. And for now, openers are looking a lot more standard this time. This time, herO won't be rushing into that forge and into a cannon rush across the map, but we're calming things down. Calming things down. But again, that's it's brutal nonetheless. That's even with kind of the failed cannon rush from herO, he still was able to bounce back and achieve so much, almost just sheerly off the back of his control, like his unit control, his micro, his multitasking. It was insane. And oh, we're going for a 2-gate opener. Hello. This fun. I actually haven't seen this kind of opener in a year. Definitely the first time I'm seeing this year in 2024. But even last year, like, this is not a common opener. So with a 2-gate opener, essentially we're going to be delaying the expansion, we're delaying the Nexus here for herO, and we're going to be prioritizing and having an abundance of adepts early on. We're going to be hitting a double adept and a quadruple adept timing here in this game once the Cybercore finishes. And the goal here is similar to the last game: get across the map, get damage done, shade in between the bases, and if Solo doesn't respect this, he can be pulled apart. Now, big Overlord Scout. He does come in, he does confirm that both gateways are already done at this point, which is not the norm. It is not standard whatsoever to already have these gateways up and running, so Solar is now aware that his opponent is going to be that much more aggressive. herO is going to be in the face of Solar. Solar knows this. And knowing is half the battle. The other half, of course, is the execution. Can we keep up with the shades? Can we be able to not even just keep up with it, but likewise drone up at the same time and make sure that our economy isn't stifled too much by even the presence of the adepts. Here we go. Adepts going to be shading out across the map, pushing towards that natural base. We do have a handful of Lings in position, but only a handful. Yeah, we commit to the shade. There are only 3 or only a pair of Lings. Go for the drones. We force the spore. Good enough forcing out a spore. A couple of workers are getting picked off, and we do not commit to the shade as we get 2 drones, 3 drones even. Very nicely done. 3 drones, and we're not done, by the way. Remember, with the double gateway opener, it's 2 adept, and then 4 adept, and then 6 adepts. Like, we build up over time. We don't want to throw them away too soon. And here we go. We're up to 4. We're already up to 4 adepts, and behind this, herO following it up with a Twilight Council. We have our tech of choice. We're going to be doubling down on aggression. This can, of course, lead into glaives as we commit to the shade. And again, really good positioning here in the mineral line. Ling's having such a hard time engaging. Having such a hard time as we do force a choke point. We get a couple of workers. More lost mine time. Adepts forced out of there from the queens. We can definitely trade well against some of these things, so we will get surrounded. 2 adepts go down. There's only 1 adept left, and we will be able to focus it down as well. So nice cleanup here from Solar. Adepts, they continue to arrive, but we won't be able to build up the adept counts. We won't be able to, knock down and have those dominoes fall one after the other and snowball out of control. Like, not quite yet. We're not done. We are not done. It's going to be 4 gate glaive adepts here from herO. Again, a very aggressive style. This shouldn't be all-in, but there are all-in variations of this. And my eyes are on herO just because it's been really keeping the pressure on this entire game so far. For this entire game. We'll see if he does commit. Meanwhile, we see Solo going for his Roach Horn. That's going to be a 4-minute 30 Roach Horn timing. A little bit later than what we'd like to be seeing, but I guess it has been a bit of a wonky start overall. herO's push is going to be a little bit more delayed because of all these adepts that he's been making earlier. He's waiting for that prism to move out. Here we go. Adept's going to be shading across the map. Maya's also going to be on herO when it comes to his transition. He can take a third base behind this. He can also start Immortal production, or he can go into Disruptors. Or into Colossi. Like, Robotics' Bay follow-up is definitely on the table, and we don't go for the Bay. We go for the Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine on the way behind this for herO. Again, just keeping the aggression up. Keeping it on. Things they threaten to run by, but there's a Stalker in position. Dark Shrine is on the way. And can Solar keep up? For now, Lynx, they threaten that wall. They get on top of an Adept. Prism does slip in. Dark Shrine still not quite done yet. Do we have Spore Crawlers? I know there's no Spore, at least at the third base. The third is vulnerable. We could get a secure kill on a hatchery. No Spore here at the natural, I believe. No Spore in the main either. No shot. Do we end the game with just DTs? There we go. We have one Spore on the way. One Spore, and then we got a second Spore in production as well. So, okay, so there's one Spore at the natural, one Spore at the third. So we have to work with right now. So we should be able to cover our bases. We can potentially actually cover the ramp as well. Here it is. We have a handful of DTs on the way. Lair in production for Solar. Spores are done, but remember the main base is vulnerable. We could just try to pick up and go straight for the main. Oh, that's what we're going for. Uh-oh. That is what we're going for. Straight into the main base here. Spore is on the way. Spore's going to be chasing as well. Yeah, the DTs, they can go ham. They shave off a couple of units. Good movement at the Solar. It does keep over the Spores. Ooh, Lise coming for a surround. Not a bad trade for Solar. Does catch some of those Adepts. As they shade into that third base. They get a couple of drone kills, but there wasn't that much to kill here anyway. They are going to be once again shading in between the bases, catching more Lings. Behind this hero is expanding. Double Archon into the main. DTs, we don't just need them. We have access to Archons, of course, as well. And we get a couple of hits in. We deny more mining. Hero now ahead in workers. Quite impressive. Ahead in workers, working towards that third base. Has been scattered. Still no. Oh no, we come back too soon. We come back too soon. There's two more workers go down. The Miles, they will connect. And finally, we can deal with these. That's what I spoke too soon. Queen goes down. They shade into the natural base. More lost mine time. More chaos being caused here in the bases of Solar. Oh my god. So we juggle on forward. We focus on another 8 drones. 8 more workers go down. And what have we really lost? Adepts. Adepts, they get outscaled into the mid game anyway. Good trades here for Hero. As finally he recalls back home. Oh, never mind. Does he have a full wall? No shot. Oh my god. Watch your rally, Bobby. Watch it. Mortal turning back around. DT waddling in. I believe there is a Spore Crawler at the third base. I believe. Oh, never mind. It did uproot, but thankfully reburrowing. DT slipping between the bases. We have mobile detection. Another Overlord goes down. Again, Hero achieving so much with this harass. He's just keeping Solar busy. Solar has been trying to drone, but he hasn't been able to. He's been losing too many. As a result, Hero still maintains an economic lead. Economic lead is insane. You see Solar trying to go for a counterattack, or trying to set up a counterattack, building up for its Ravager Banelings, joining up to 71. We're just going to force him to lift. Solar gets eyes on the 4th. Meanwhile, we spoke about it earlier about the Bay and the kind of Robotech transition here. Oh, the juggling! Oh my god. The Archons, they refuse to die. We get another 5 drones as well at the same time. I believe the DT slipping over to the bases. As we try to catch another Overlord. And here comes the army. Disruptors now in the mix. Again, this entire time Hero has been in control of this game. Solar been trying to react, been trying to keep up. We focus on a couple of these tumors. Tumor's going to be going down. Big warp in. Can we get the Biles up? And we should be able to. Here, the Prism goes down. Good Biles here from Solar. Suddenly, we cannot save these Immortals. We cannot juggle. Nova going to be decent. Another Nova goes off and it will connect with 2 Roaches and a Ravager. The Immortals are exposed, but it looks like herO, he may barely have enough. It's going to be close. And it looks like he barely cleans up this army, but he loses so much in the process. We have reinforcements on the way. 16 more Roaches for Solar. He's barely holding on here with his reinforcements. Here, forces his way in between the bases once again. Catches the value, gets the full Roach, full Ravager. Overlord. Forced back by the Roach Ravager. Banning Waddle Bite is being set up here across the map. It's being set up. You're building up his forces, getting into another disruptor. Where's the Prism though? Not the Prism. These pushes are quite terrifying, but there it is. The Prism has arrived. Banning Waddle Bite comes in. We get 7 probes. Oh! 7 workers. Not too bad. Once again, even though we may have killed 7 workers, do we have enough to survive the push? To defend against us. Nova goes off. Big connection on the Ravagers. And this is getting out of hand. We do focus down a Disruptor, which is a good trade, don't get me wrong. Immortal barely saved. Immortal is saved, but herO is still getting so much value with these Stalkers. A charge on the way behind this. Solar just now getting into +1 melee. He's now getting into melee. We do have a bit of a Ling run by and a Ling counterattack as well. Threatening the bases, we do catch a shield battery at least. But this thing can't really threaten bases, or at least it shouldn't threaten bases. Its cannons and shield batteries are on the way. Boy, and herO is still just building up towards this push. And again, because he's been able to trade so well against Solar, Solar's still not recovered. He's still only on 70 workers. Like, Solar, his drone count is not ideal. He's just been forced to keep producing army this entire time. And here comes the Zealot run by. We catch a Mineral Lion. A drone's going to be going down. Solar, he's out of position. Another big warping as well, distracting those reinforcements. And herO gets a surround on that hatchery. Gets 13 drone kills and counting, and he'll knock down not just 1 base, but another. 2 bases go down in the blink of an eye. Again, Solar is trying to keep up. Trying to catch this army. We have 3 Novas in total. 2 of them did get wasted. The Nova goes off. Better connection. But is that enough? So once again, we do see Solar forcing herO back. Overcharge is going to be popped. Oh, we top up so much of these shields. Another Disruptor does arrive, and this is going to be the final push here of Solar, trying to break through. But these Stalkers are just trading so well. They're just trading so damn well here. Solar, he is hurting. He's hurting quite a lot at the moment here. Bile grazes the army, but we need more than 1 Bile. It's going off, catching Ravagers. Bailey's barely finishing up. No, they're forced to cancel. Oh, big warping into the main base. Now herO, he can push in from multiple sides. With the Zealot harass, with of course the main army. Disruptor has arrived. Colossus as well. And herO, he's running away with this. He's getting another base. Another hatchery goes down. GG gets called, and herO, again, looking terrifying here in this series, just having his way with Solar once again with Adept Harass, this time with Glaive Adepts. Not just Glaive Adepts, but also Dark Templar as well. Game 1 was a Cannon Rush here. In Game 2, we got DTs, we got Glaive Adepts. herO just really being hyper aggressive this series, and Solar has been having a hard time keeping up. It looks like Solar may have asked for a break. I don't blame him. I think we need a moment. I think Solar, he needs a moment to just take a breath and just calm things down. It's a best of 7, a lot of games to come, but 2-0 leak in this fashion isn't looking good here for Solar. It's not looking good. What's scary is that herO hasn't really shown his final form. Like, so far, hero's been looking terrifying just off of the back of the harassment. Early on, both in Game 1 and Game 2, he's been killing a lot of workers. He's been killing a lot of drones with his adepts, in conjunction with the Archons and DTs here in Game number 2. And that kind of snowballs into a massive army lead, into a supply lead, and hero's been able to flex from there. And Solar needs to tighten up his early game. Straight up, he just needs to tighten up his early game here. He cannot afford these losses the way that he's been sustaining them, all these drone kills. And we'll see if he can kind of tighten things up here as we get into game number 3, as we get ready for Site Delta. Site Delta is on the way. Now, to be fair, to give credit, of course, where credit is due, hero's builds have been unorthodox. Remember, winding it back. It was a 2-gate opener. It was 2-gate opener into 4-gate glaive adepts, into, of course, something a little bit more of a standard game. But, like, again, these are builds and these are playstyles that not a lot of players out there actually incorporate. Not a lot of players actually whip them out. Classic is a similarly aggressive Protoss player to Hero, but even then, like, they do have different playstyles overall, and they do have different builds. In a sense, like, their overall style of play is similar, but like the details, the intricacies are quite different. And yeah, Hero, he's just finding a lot of success with this more aggressive style. And we'll see, can we bounce back as we load into game number 3? And spawning at the top left, we have herO for CranKy Gaming. And in the bottom right, we have his opponent. We have Solar. We're on side. Oh, he has 2 doggos. Let's go. Let's go. Beautiful. We do have 2 doggos in the background, and maybe that small break that we had when Solo went off camera, maybe he just needed some support from the doggos. You know, he needed to support them, they needed to support him. You know, we just had to pet the doggos. Now we're good. We're good to go. Vámonos. Here we go. As we settle into this. Solo, of course, going into his hatch gas full. Standard opener here from our Zerg player for safety unnatural natural. Here, likewise, settling into this as well. Keck you. Thank you, Nine. But yeah, shout out to Nightbot. We got our bracket commands in the chat if you need them. Do have them. And yeah, herO, he's been hyper aggressive so far here. Remember in the last game, of course, it wasn't just the 2-gate opener into 4-gate glaive adepts. It was 4-gate glaive adepts into DTs, into Archon drop harass. And it was disgusting how much efficiency herO was getting with his Archons. Like, that was crazy. He got like 3 overlords. He was able to kill a lot of extra workers, catch some queens. Like, it was very smooth. It was very smooth micro out of herO with his follow-up Archon drop price as well. Just at almost no point did Solar ever have room to breathe. It was just non-stop aggression, whether it was with the initial 2-gate opener, with the follow-up glaives, with the Archons, with the DTs, with the Blink Stalkers thereafter. Just herO was just constantly in Solar's face, and well, was able to achieve quite a lot with that. We'll see. We'll see if Solar can, again, slow the game down a little bit, maybe take control himself. We have spoken about this before. On the one hand, Solar, he is known for more macro play, but oh, that's an early Baneling Nest. Let's talk about being assertive, Papi. That is what, a 2-minute 30 Baneling Nest? Should be a Bane Bust. We're going to be getting into a Bane Bust here. Solar sneaking more lings across the map. herO, can he get a read on what's going on? Because Solar, he's had enough of being on the receiving end of the aggression. He wants to be the aggressor. He wants to be the one in control. Can Solar pull this off? Adept shading into the main. Void Ray is on the way. Ooh, Void Ray opener. Interesting. We're going to have some consistent damage available. Consistent, you know, DPS available here for herO. We shade in, and we do get eyes on the Baneling Nest. The Baneling Nest is done. It's very early. Insanely suspect, and there it is. We're walling off. Big scout here. The gateway has been thrown down. We are fully walling off on 2 bases. The Bane Bust is soon to be upon us. That pylon is a weak point. That is true. That pylon looking very vulnerable, but I'm sure we're ready to wall off behind it. Oracle's on the way. Additional gateways as well. Bailey said, well, they're rolling in. Where's the wall? Pylon is going to be knocked down. Ling's going to be flooding in as well. Shield battery about to finish up, but it gets focused down as well. A good target firing here out of Solar. But is this going to be enough? Because the Adepts are warping on in. Warp Gate isn't done. Warp Gate gets depowered. No shot. Warp Gate is depowered. Big pick off there by Solar. Lings, they continue to reinforce. Oracle trying to hold the line here at the natural. So far we are holding. Another pylon on the way. Cybercore is repowered and Warp Gate, yeah, it's going to finish up. GG gets called. The Bane Bust is not going to work here. And herO holds. herO takes a 3-0 lead. GG, well played. Very nicely done here by herO. The big moment for herO was, of course, the Adept. The Adept gets across the map, he scouts, he walls off, he was able to confirm the Bane Bust that was coming, and sure, the pylon did go down, but we had a Void Ray to help defend, we had some clutch movement there with those Adepts as well, the boys were being pulled, and herO barely lost anything. He shut that down so well, and this doesn't bode well for Solar. I'm a little bit concerned, Papi. I'm a little bit... Oh, God. Hug the doggos again, Papi. You need them. Oh, God. Because this has not been a long series. We haven't really been able to sink our teeth into, like, a solid kind of back-and-forth mid-game. Like, we haven't gotten there yet. Like, herO has been in the driver's seat for the most part of the series. Hyper-aggressive, and we're loading into potentially the final game. In the top left-hand corner, we have herO for DKZ. And in the bottom right, we have Solar for onside. The pressure is on. He's down 3-0. We need to fight back here and now. Otherwise it's over. Otherwise, it is all over. Oh boy. Here we go. Here and now. We're going to be loading into Golden Aura. Golden Aura is an interesting map. Has a short rush distance by ground. So typically, if we do engage here early on, if we do have a momentum swing in one way or the other, a fight going one way or the other, like, you can very quickly counterattack and apply pressure and break your opponent. In saying that, the 3-base setup here on Golden Aura is very defendable. Like, the ramp and the choke point leading up into the 3rd base is very narrow, and it's very easy to actually hold on and defend. That is why on Golden Aura we actually have seen a lot of split map scenarios, but it's actually usually favoring Zerg players. The reason for this is because whether it's Terran or Protoss, you can fortify yourself on 4 and then 5 bases relatively well, but taking more bases from there is difficult, and more often than not, Zerg players are able to take bottom left, the gold, and top right as well, if we do end up in a longer late game. But I mean, I bring this up, I don't know if I need to, because we haven't gotten long games so far in this series. Like, we're not slowing down, Papi, you know, we're speeding up, and I don't know if we can get to the point where we can get up to, you know, 4-base economy. We'll see. We shall see. So far, gate expand here from herO. Gate expand into the Cybercore, standard opener. Likewise, Solo goes for a hatch on the low ground, hatch gas pool. Standard opener so far. And what direction will we go in? Again, things not looking so hot here for Solar. I want to believe we can get it back and forth. I want to believe that we can have an extended series. I want to believe. I'm hoping that that's the case. I want to cast, Papi. I want to cast some more games. Regardless of how this goes, even if it still goes the way of herO, like, I want to see Solar be competitive here. But again, has been struggling so far, and it's not looking too good. For now, though, 3rd base is on the way. Queens are amassing. Going to be joining on up. Link speed in production as well. And we have our tech of choice. It's going to be a Stargate opener here from herO. I'm imagining an Oracle opener, but as we saw in the previous game, herO is willing to open up Void Ray. Is very much so willing to do so. Is in his repertoire, and as he threatens to shade, we have our first unit, and it is going to be the Oracle, not the Void Ray. So Oracle opener out of herO, Adept shades into the main base. Big scout here confirming and making sure that there is no fast Roach Warren or Baneling Nest. Ooh, as the Adept is going to be forced back. Oh, the Queen! Up! Uno mas! Uno mas, Papi! It's so close we get away with 3 HP. Not like this. The Adept barely does survive. And will shade on back home. Whew. Clutch moves there out of herO. Does preserve his Adepts. Now, his reps are very battered, very bruised. That does mean it looks like this first Oracle may stay at home a little bit longer, but no, we are moving out, and we should be leading into another Nexus behind this. It should be leading into our natural, into our third. And there it is, third base is on the way. herO moving out with his Oracles. Going to be threatening a dive. Queens are in position, Spawn all quite ready. We get one, we get two, we get three drones here in the main base. Not too bad. We do sustain quite a bit of hull damage, but we're safe here in the corner of the map. We're going to be regenerating those shields. We will be building back up. Solar is just droning. We have our follow-up. It's going to be a Twilight Council and Forge. This is looking like a standard follow-up here out of herO, going for +1 blink. Could dip into charge. That's another viable tech path here for herO. But again, typically is blink from this position. As the Oracle dips between the bases. So far, good positioning here by Solar. Doesn't lose any additional drones yet. But now we have 3 Oracles. We have triple Oracle. We can threaten multiple bases at once. Oh, Stage Trap goes off in the main. We do catch a couple of Queens, but the Oracle does go down at the same time. No Spore here at the third. No Spore, and we get 3 more drones. Ooh. Sustain a lot of damage on one of those Oracles and on the other as well. But 2 Oracles will escape. And we have our follow-up. It is, in fact, +1 on Blink Stalkers. We have 2 gates on the way, so it's going to be 4 gates in total. 4 gate Blink Stalker. That's a standard transition here on 3 bases. Keep an eye out for any kind of massive gateway explosion. That would be a tell of more aggression from herO. And we have a couple of extra gates on the way. We have 2 more gateways, so it's going to be 6 gates in total here for herO. Looks like he does want to be assertive here. Did I say 6 gates? That's a 7th gateway, soon to be an 8th gateway. So 8 gate +1 Blink Stalkers. herO is going to be doubling down on Mass Blink Stalker. Basically, from here, he could have tried to tech up in towards a Robotics Bay, into like another Robo, into Colossus production if need be. But no, he's doubling down on a gateway army instead. And again, that's a lot of gates. That's a lot of gateways, Bobby. I think that's 11. Jesus. Here we go. Blink Stalker is going to be amassing. We have the Robo behind this. I believe the Robo is mainly going to be for a War Prism, just so we can reinforce. herO is soon going to hit the field with what he's known for, his signature unit, the Blink Stalker. I feel like he was known for the Blink Stalker for quite some time in years past, but I don't know, nowadays, when I think of herO, when I think of aggression, I think of like Adept Oracle, not gonna lie, but even so, his Blink Stalker micro can be disgusting, can be insane. Let's see if he can flex it here. 4th base is on the way. Overseer going to be shut down. Blink about to finish up. Behind this, we're getting into additional upgrades for our Gateway Army. We have Charge on the way as well, so we're committing to a Swarm Tail style. Stalkers are moving out. Ling Run By will force back some of them, but just delays the push. Doesn't pick anything off. And herO, he does want to get across the map as quickly as possible. The efficiency here, he's lost 1 Adept and 1 Oracle. Nothing else. Revelations are thrown down. Tumor's going to be focused down as well. There are a handful of Roaches here to defend. The Queens are in position for a Transfuse. Roaches are getting picked off. Big stasis trap here on the Lings. Massive stasis. So we are going to rotate around. Here comes that Prism to reinforce. Looking to reinforce with Zealots. Oh, the Queens. The Queens looking very exposed. We may be able to barely get one. As they do escape. Good bait on the stasis here from Solar. Only 2 Lings. Another stasis on the way. Once again, oh my god, Solar threatening there. That stasis trap, big Zealot warping here towards the south, dragging away the attention of Solar. And Roaches are on the way. And we take advantage of that as herO, he pushes in on the right-hand side, gets on some of the Roaches. We can see Solar, he's taking up into Lurkers, by the way. Very greedy. Lurker tech on the way, and in the midst of this teching, we will focus on the hatchery. It's going to be a kill on the 4th base. A big pick off here. herO pushing on even further, just pulling Solar apart once again. It's been the tale of this series. Another stasis. Does catch some of these Roaches. Zealots from behind, and Solar, he's having such a hard time keeping up. We force another cancel on the base, and we're keeping the production. Hydras are on the way, but they're about to be caught. And we're focusing down the hatchery. Can we get it? Oh, it's going to be so close to Transfuse. Transfuse will barely keep it alive. Hydras are being camped. That hatchery is so low. If it wasn't for the Transfuse, it would be dead, 100%. Hydras are cancelled. Zelda coming back in. He wants it. He's going to get it as well. The fourth and the third base go down, and sure, Solar, he was able to rush into Lurker Tech, but what else does he have? He doesn't have an economy for it. He has Hydras, he has a bank. He has 9 more Hydras on the way. But Lurkers are still a ways off. Lurker range, we rush into Hive. Again, Solar being very greedy here with his tech, and he was punished for it against this Mass Blink Stalker style. He was vulnerable up until he could get into those lurkers, and I mean, now he has them. Can he slow the game down? Now, what's concerning here is that, yes, it's true. We now have some lurkers, and we have spotted them. We have scouted. herO is fully aware of the tech. He does see the lurkers. Immediately, +1 air attack is on the way. We have built up an immortal-based army. +1 air attack tells me that we are thinking about Sky Toss. If need be, we can take up into a fleet beacon, into carrier production. For now, though, I don't think the lurker count is high enough to really warrant that. I feel like herO with an immortal-based army can break this. As I say that, 5 more lurkers on the way. I believe that's 10 lurkers in total. That's a pretty decent amount of lurkers. But they're not done yet. Still need a couple more seconds. They just barely finish in time. Seismic Spines is done. Adaptive Talons on the way. Hive lurker upgrades are finishing up. herO going for a split push. Oh, once again, making sure there is no base here on the right-hand side. Well, at the same time, big warping into the main. We can't see it, but Zealots, they have gone into the main base. These lurkers are exposed. 1, 2, 3 lurkers go down. 4 lurkers go down as well. We cut the lurker count in half. The Zealot drop in the main base didn't achieve much damage, but it did distract Solar. Did pull apart his attention. Lurker is coming down from the high ground. 7 lurkers left. Oh, that's a kill on the 4th base. The 4th base goes down. The Immortals are preserved. And that Zealot warping continues. The Prism was not dealt with. We're getting back into the main base. The lurkers are exposed. There's nothing to support them. Lurkers on their own are so vulnerable. As you can see, they're being focused down one after the other, and herO snowballing out of control, denying the base over and over again, never allowing Solar into a 4-base economy. He's down to 2 lurkers. It's a massive warp in. GG gets called. herO shuts Solar down. Solar, oh, the thumbs up. He's happy, Papi. GG. Solar, our most recent GSL champion, gets 4-0'd by herO, the best Protoss in Korea, arguably the best Protoss in the world. GG. GG, well played. A dominant performance there from herO. Again, Solar just having a really hard time keeping up with the multitasking of herO. Left and right, he was pulled apart. Specifically this game, we did mention it, but Solar, he was being greedy. He was taking up very quickly and very heavily into Hive Tech, into Hydras, into Lurkers, in the midst of, remember, it wasn't just that herO was pushing with some Stalkers. There were, I want to say 11, there were at least 10 gates behind it. Potentially 11 gateways behind it. He was going for Mass Blink Stalker. He was applying a lot of pressure there, and that's the pressure that you have to respect. And Solar, he just wasn't able to get into it, get into those lurkers, survive long enough to really stabilize, to get away with all that tech, especially on Golden Aura. We spoke about it. Like, the rush distance by ground on Golden Aura is very short. Once you gain momentum, once you apply pressure, it doesn't take too long to just reinforce and to just snowball out of control as well. As we saw from herO, you know, it doesn't take too long to waddle across the map and be in the face of your opponent. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to herO. We're going to be going on a short break. When we return, we have our next match. We have Maru versus Dark. See you soon.